Alright. And with that, I've got enough to work with. Now, if we do get to the long stop today, as I said, it's one of the more side path blessed longer dungeons early on, and you can get a carp ton of stuff out of it, or at least you used to could. I suppose it could have changed, along with every other dungeon I've done so far on this character. So I could be wrong, but experience says I will want a lot of space. You know what? This is getting downright irritating. Now, the next few steps are all about talkie-talkie. So we'll get those, just in case it improves, which probably won't. See, I don't want to have to do this again because sometimes it will sync if you just restart the remote play software. And sometimes it's going to make me restart my PlayStation. I am not going the right way. And that takes a great deal more time. Alright. Now this guy, in my humble opinion, looks so much more like a guy that actually fought a battle years and years ago against Titan. Pardon? You wish to slay the Lord of Crags? We must slay him, Captain. The people of Limsa are depending upon us. You fancy yourselves heroes, then? Just like in the tales? Be not so quick to judge. Long have I labored for the well-being of you and yours, and my associate here has bathed in Ifrit's hellfire and lived. And kept my sanity, thank you very much. She is blessed with a power that protects her from primal influence. Thus was she able to lay low the Lord of the Inferno. We know full well the risks, and have taken every possible precaution. We lack only the knowledge of how to enter Titan's lair. Pray, be so good as to grant us the boon of your wisdom, and we shall be on our way. A woman who can't be tempered? Useful, but it will not be enough. It is true the company of heroes fought and felled primals, but each victory was bought with the lifeblood of brave men and women. And Titan was the worst we faced. Aye, we defeated him in the end, but he took from us some of our very best. Even if you possess the power you claim, I have no reason to believe you will succeed. Believe what you will, we mean to try. Though our lives be forfeit, we will not abandon Limsa to the wrath of Titan. You are passionate, I'll grant you that. And you deserved better than the greeting I gave you. But I will not send you into Ogamoro on a whim. To be plain, I do not wish to see you give your lives in vain. At the very least, I must have assurances that you are more than common adventurers. I oversee security for Master Gigeruju's states. Perhaps you can demonstrate your abilities by tending to one of our, Ye gods, man, have you heard nothing I have said? We've not the time to perform trivial tasks. The enemy is at the gates. Do you imagine words can sway me, girl? If you dislike my conditions, you are welcome to find your own way into Ogomoro. Though it pains me to admit it, I fear we have no choice but to acquiesce to the man's demands. Yet much remains to be done if we are to best Titan. Forgive me, but I must ask you to undertake this task alone. I will use the time to see to the remaining preparations. Leaving the dirty work to others, are we? Very well. Pray do whatever the good captain bids, however trifling. Remember, the fate of Limsa Lamensa hangs in the balance. Waistget would first like to verify that you are not a complete fraud. All things considered, I understand that. Master Gegeruju's requests can be more demanding than you realize. Before I set you to your true task, I would like to verify that this won't be a waste of my time. A Nyx has recently been seen prowling the beach to the east. As you can imagine, my master does not want large, slimy creatures anywhere near his lands. The beast is cunning, but you should have no difficulty luring it out with a herring. Slay the Nyx and return to me. Oh, and don't forget to bring me a leg as proof of the kill. Dang it. Alright. Well, we are going to the sounds of smooth jazz while we reboot and see if we can get our sync back. You know, I think I'm going to come up with a card with an illustration of a basin that's dripping or overflowing. A basin that's overflowing. Titled, Getting My Sink Back. Or maybe I'll have somebody running off with it. I like that one even better. Give you something funny to look at while I deal with a decidedly non-funny problem. Alright, we're back. Hopefully we're back for good this time. Yeah, that was so bad. Apparently my sync had gotten so far off I had a data unsync. I had to stop and have it update that. So maybe it wasn't. I've been thinking it was the software getting out of sync, and maybe it wasn't. Because this 14 has to sync in real time between this running smooth and it's working the way it's supposed to be working. We should be good, because unlike other older saner software design these days is crazy. Unlike older saner software, 14 has to sync in real time because you don't save, don't manual save, it just remembers where you were and what you were doing. And apparently things have gotten so out of sync that the cloud sync and my local sync were off. So maybe it wasn't the software. It might just have been we might have had a transmission lag for some reason there. Alright, let's deposit this fattened herring where our problem critter can sniff it. Oh, we have dropped that, which means, aha, look, a spot from which to observe. You know, before I do that, I keep forgetting to do this. Oh, dig that. I've got a papyra here. I forgot about that. I think papyra are actually useful. Yes, they are. And I don't have that yet, so, alright. Yeah, this one isn't going to be that bad. I'll use the bread. At least I don't think it's going to be that bad. But I want that 3% XP bump either way. Alright. As I observe from my place of concealment. Oh, that's not good. Okay, my sound didn't automatically turn back on. Sorry about that. Theoretically, at least, you should have been able to hear me. Yep, we still got the mic showing. It's moving. Ah, 4 Gigantoad skins. I got Gigantoad skins out of it. Yes. I am jogging back. Where is that large buffalo going? Nowhere. Into the chalk cliff behind him. Yep, still 1-to-1. I can get 4 pieces of toad leather out of that. That's going to be useful. Let's go see what Waistcoat has to say to us. Well, did you deal with the Nix? Yes, sir, I did. Lest you think me overcautious for testing you this way, you should know we had an incident not long ago. A foolish young employee was dismissed for lying about his past. He claimed to have served in the company of heroes, but I knew for a fact he did not. Anyway, now that the pointless busy work is finished, I shall give you a challenge as befits your talents. Waistcoat has an important mission for you. Is that a blank one or is that an active one? I think it's an active one. 2 highly distinguished individuals are scheduled to visit Costa del Sol in the near future, and Master Gegaruju, when you're trying to correct pronunciation or remember something, say it at least 3 times, wishes to welcome them with an elaborate banquet. But while money is no object, not everything Master Gegaruju desires can be so easily purchased. It is to be an extremely exotic feast, and so Fiona, your mission is to seek out and obtain the rare ingredients our chef requires. Naturally, such fine dining must be accompanied with a suitable wine. And you would think that, you know, I'm getting ingredients, you'd think this would be a gathering quest. It's not. And by suitable, I mean the very best there is. That, however, can wait for the time being, as I believe you have enough on your plate as it is. Why would he believe that? It will be a long and arduous journey, but you need not toil alone. Many of the mercenaries who once served under my command still live, and they will guide you in your quest. For the first ingredient, I would have you travel to the South Shroud and speak with Landonel at Camp Tranquil. Remember when we were at Camp Tranquil because we were just kind of walking the land and I pointed to a guy and said he's going to be important later? Dun dun dun. What? You mean to tell me you can't afford to waste time as your associate did? Adventurer, if you have not the endurance to complete this mission, how do you expect me to believe you can outlast the Lord of Crags? Either do it or don't. I have work to do. Jerk. But, to be fair, the man thinks we're a posier. And, yes, the Company of Heroes, and because we're at 244,000, we're just going to go ahead and teleport. And yes, the Company of Heroes did, in fact, kill a primal. And no, they were not all tempered. But in order to do that, they had to employ some extremely dicey tactics. Some extremely dicey and highly skilled tactics. And to be fair, he's got a reason to want to make sure that you're up to snuff. Do you require assistance, adventurer? So this is the one who would challenge Titan. I've been expecting you, Fianna. The ingredient you seek is the egg of a giant Adanantois. The method of acquisition should be obvious. You steal it from the beast's nest, of course. Simple in theory, but difficult in execution. Most who try die in the attempt. Will I help you get it? You amuse me. I will not jeopardize my position by openly assisting you. From me you will receive only information. What you do with it is your choice. That's fine. You be that way. Let's see. Ooh, Materia 2. You know, that makes me wonder. Ooh. Gosh, my entire left side. I should have done this earlier. Aha. 1, 2. Ha ha ha. Dad joke. Landonel needs to explain a few things to you. Let me be clear. This business is between you, me, and the captain and must remain a secret. See, I don't regret my time spent with the company in the slightest, traveling the world, meeting interesting people, killing them. It was all jolly good fun. Alas, Gridanians are, by and large, an unforgiving lot. Detto here being a rare exception. I've had to go to great lengths to ensure I am seen as a model citizen, with no taste for drinking, whoring, gambling, and all those other activities I so dearly miss. So, understand that if you ruin my little charade by wagging your tongue, I'll fashion a noose with your entrails and hang you from the nearest heavens pillar. Well, Landonel, you might pull that off for 5 more levels, and then I will kick your ass. Well, what are you waiting for? There's a perfectly good Adamantoise egg in a nest to the east of here, just right for the taking. Not that I expect you to live long enough to claim it. The mother never strays far from the child, and you will surely be attacked the moment you lay hands upon the egg. Yeah, I will, sadly. I'd rather just sneak it out from under. I wonder if we can What if I'm not high enough level to get away with that? There will be other heroes, Fianna. You do not need to challenge Titan. Abandon your quest or your corpse will rot in this swamp. See, they're really trying to scare you off because, frankly, their defeat of Titan was a mess. It was a mournfully disastrous, terrible mess. And the truth is, a lot of them resent the heck out of it. So they are very invested in making sure only true nutcases get involved in this. And of course, we are a true nutcase. Our little spot. Alright, pause the universe for a second. Thought for a second my house had been invaded by a swamp. Somebody's catalytic converter going past is not converting. Alright. I don't want to hurt Mama. Mama's a good mama. It's not her fault that he's... Oh, great. Now I don't have a choice. Mine is not. Let's get that fixed. Oh, it was on a dumb thing. Or was not. I can't talk today. It's coming out backwards. Alright, let's kill the dumb stroper. Grab the Adamantoise egg. I thought you might have the good sense to leave this place, but by your continued presence, I take it you intend to persevere to the bitter end. Yes, yes I do. Such bravery, such recklessness. That will serve you well against Titan. Leave the egg with me. I'll see that it gets to the captain. You should make haste to southern Fenland. In Forgotten Springs. Where have we run into that before? You will find a man named Uod Nun. He will be your next guide. Safe travels, Fianna. I am toying with an idea. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get these unlocked before I leave. Adventurers Guild. Believe meet station in Camp Tranquil, assigning various tasks. How about we start you off with a leave of my choosing and see how you get on. Let's try this one, shall we? Where are the furs at? The wood whalers have discovered the precise location of several stockpiles of prohibited furs. As there is a countless number of these hidden stashes, the whalers are currently enlisting the able-bodied... Alright. I suggest you arm yourself for battle. I'm always armed for battle. Huh, look at that. Right under our feet. How embarrassing. No, I'm not going to jump off the... I'm not going to jump off. I'm not going to do that. I am going to go to the ground in a sane and lucid manner. Okay. Map. Yep. Go ahead and initiate. Gotta crank it up max. Alright. There's the cache of poached hide. I want to get him away from that Midland condor. Those are very aggressive, and I really don't need another fight. Alright. Looky here. Sunstone right there. More poached hide. Yeah, her arrows versus my axe. My axe is winning. Now, the whole point about these poachers is the standing legal authority in Gridania believes is a theocracy, and they believe that the wood is a holy place with its own divine spirits, and that their people have been allowed to dwell in the wood by these holy spirits as long as they comply with the Holy Spirit's expectations of acceptable behavior. And who decides what that is? Well, the hearers. When the people that presently comprise the official Gridanians came to the wood, the spirits in question worked very hard to push them out, which is where some of the things like some of the underground ruins and such come from. But eventually some people started hearing the spirits. And when you did the things that the spirits told the hearer to do, they stopped. These mystical phenomena that were forcing you out of the woods stopped. So the hearers, and they're the only ones who hear it, hear what the mystical spirits of the divine spirits of the wood want to have happen, and that's what they tell the people. Well, if you pay attention to the conversations going on around you, it becomes very clear that there is a certain amount of interpretation that goes on about how a spirit's directives should be carried out. And the overall directive, of course, is, keep everything in balance. Don't destroy the balance. And the poachers, by and large, have a very different perspective on how one should manage the resources of the wood. And so the thing is, though, they get on anyway. And the Gridanians' position is, yeah, these guys get on anyway, trading off our goodwill with the spirits, so we kind of need to control them, where the spirits are going to look at them and say, well, they're basically the same kind of creature you are, why aren't you controlling yourselves? And the other side of that, the poacher's perspective is, well, we've got nobody's word but yours that you're hearing from anybody at all, and who says whatever crazy voice you're hearing, because you're nuts, has any bearing on what happens in the wood at all. So we're going to pause for a moment to say hi to Specific Superiority Joker B4. Hi, Specific Superiority Joker B4, our daily AI visitor. Especially actually anywhere when you're in Gridania, you're going to be constantly coming across these bands of poachers, because these guys make their living in the woods too. You could argue that their justification for having an opinion is as strong as the Gridanians, but and it isn't, of course. You get more information later that expounds on what's available at this point and clarifies that the legitimacy of the Gridanians' claim, at least functionally. But speed of completion. Yep. Making Like a Tree is almost complete. Ooh.